Hi guys, thanks for joining me. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anne and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back to review Liberation Notes. We are in episode 11 and 12. So if you're watching, please join us every week and please do leave a comment. I'm always interested to hear what you guys have to say. This made me laugh so hard. Chang-hee, the way he screams like a girl, as he's being chased by Mr. Gu, and the way they were running, I'm like, whoa, these two can run. I'm like, the casting job must have been, can you run? Because there will be a scene. All of you are really gonna be running for a while. And I feel like Mr. Gu let him win because he is a pretty good runner and they were both on the train. So I'm like, clearly he could have caught him if he wanted to. But I was also thinking, why would you blame him? He scratched the car, but you willingly gave him the car to drive. Meaning, if you give your friend a car to drive and they end up scratching it or it gets hit, it always will fall on you because you willingly gave your car to someone to drive. So it was interesting that he's chasing him and I'm thinking, just call the dealer, just call the insurance and just eat the cost because you gave him the car. And I love that Chang-hee really had a wonderful time with it. The co-workers were enjoying themselves as he gave the ride. It was almost like for once he felt like, you know what, I'm enjoying a little bit of life, right? It felt like, I felt nice for him. He actually said it made him more of a calmer, peaceful person. Although then his friends were like, is it wearing off? Is it wearing off? But anyway, let's go to Mr. Gu first. So clearly we saw he's gonna go back. And I am so sad for the relationship between him and Mi Jeong because I feel like they've come so close. I mean, they kissed, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed like he was trying to tell her to come to Seoul. Like, he was like, come on, be like other women. And almost like, you can live the soft life. You don't have to live this really hard life. Like when they're talking about the strollers, about, you know, the other women have strollers in Seoul for easy life. And Mi Jeong is like, no, I'm gonna carry my baby for a year before, I don't need a stroller. And he was just looking at her like, you know, I felt like it was a way of him asking her, come to Seoul with me. But you know how the relationship is so different. Like we just worship each other. We cheer each other, but we don't talk about love. We know they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but it's like at this point, just say, I love you. I need you in my life. But we haven't gotten to that point, I guess. And obviously now he left. And he even changed the phone number. I was like, ouch. Because she said she'd call him once in a while. And when she tried calling him, even the phone wasn't working anymore, right? So that's interesting. Oh, and by the way, so that guy who was selling drugs, the way he died, oh, that is one hard, painful way to die, right? And then we're not quite sure with Mr. Gu. We are aware that he's very wealthy. I haven't understood, does he own the club or is it owned by that chairman guy who wanted him to go back? I would like more story. Is that his dad? What is this relationship and, you know, all the money that he's got? I mean, he owns a Rolls Royce, so he definitely has money. I want to hear more about that. And then clearly we see that he runs away when he's happy. Like now that he's getting happy, he's scared. It's like he's scared to be happy is what they're saying, right? Like, and then when they're at the funeral, he's laughing. And they're all like, this is kind of awkward. Who is laughing in a funeral? Like, are you losing it or what's going on? Like, Mr. Gu definitely has some work to do in figuring out what is going on with him and what he really wants. But I am confident that him and Mi Jeong are definitely gonna come back together just because I feel like at this point they have fallen in love. They just obviously, you know, they wanted to do their relationship a little bit different, but in the end they realized they both became better for it, right? She became more liberated. He became more, he looks like he now could talk and a better person, like maybe less stress, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, speaking of the Liberation Club, who loved the fact that the lady who used to push him to join a club joined their club. And she said, I always pretend to be happy and I'm really not happy. I need to stop pretending, almost like I want to learn to be my authentic self. And then we have Ji Jeon, their older sister, and Taehan. Okay, first of all, I'm happy that they're dating. It was funny because she was like, I'm either going to shave my hair or I need to date someone by this winter. And the way he was like, please don't shave your hair. I will help with the other part, right? I love that they're dating, but I also feel like she's being too accommodating. Like, girl, sooner or later, some of these things will start to bother you. Like, what do you mean that every Christmas or every holiday we may not be together? I'm hoping in a way that they would start to incorporate her in their lives so that even during holidays, they just don't go separate ways, right? I know he's a single dad and he has his own routine. It's gonna take some while to accustom. But right now, she's just so accommodating. Like, yeah, whatever you need, it's not a problem. Don't drive me. He wanted to drive her home and girl is missing. Like, girl, that's the fun part, is the drive. You talk, you get close. You just say, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to bother you. I mean, she's so grateful to be dating that she's almost too accommodating. I'm like, come on, relax. Like, enjoy it, right? I love that they showed the preview next week when her mom is like, you're dating? I want to see him. And then she's like, oh, wow. Like, almost like, you did good. He's good looking. And by the way, Taehan's sisters, it was so touching that the reason why they're upset that he's dating is because they know if he ends up getting married, then their niece may have to live, obviously, with him. And they would not see her every day and they would be so heartbroken. So that's the reason why she was having such a hard time with him dating. But I thought it was so touching because at first I was like, why are you being mean to your brother, right? And then Chan-hee over here, like I said, it was interesting that he became so calm, you know, driving this car. It was almost like for once he could exhale and enjoy his life. And I thought it was interesting that Hyun-ah, who is dating that guy who's in the hospital, and this mother-in-law who only cared about money and not her son, would not allow to be the daughter-in-law, right? And I thought it was interesting that the boyfriend was like, I would like to see Chan-hee because you're always talking about him. And then when he came to see him, he was like, okay, I can see why she likes you. And we saw in the next preview when he was like, you should think about dating Hyun-ah because I think she's very fond of you. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But what did you think of episode 11 and 12? I thought it was lighthearted and kind of fun. I'm happy for how everybody is evolving. Everybody is getting happy with their lives and everything that's going on. We'll see what happens to Mr. Gu and Mi-jeon, but I feel like they're gonna get back together. So we'll see how that progresses, but I enjoyed 11 and 12. Let me know what you think down below. I'm always interested in your comments. Join me next week when I review episode 13 and 14. We're almost getting close to the end, huh? I guess we have only 2 more weeks and it's over. I'm really enjoying this show. It's a really fantastic show. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you like my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And I'll see you again next week when I review episode 13 and 14. Deuces.